So I'm going to show you how to update n8n inside Docker without losing any of your data. Now if you're like me, when you were installing n8n inside Docker, you had no idea what you were doing, and so you probably accepted all the default settings. Well, it turns out that that's actually an issue where basically since you didn't set a path to store all your files, then your data is basically locked inside Docker. So let me show you what I mean. So when you install n8n, you basically install an image, which I have right here. And then to run n8n, you create a container, which I have right here. Now the issue is that all of your data, all of your workflow and credentials, all of it is within this container right here. Everything is right here. Now to update n8n, you first have to update the image. But when you update the image, if you want to get that update, you have to then create a new container. But the issue is all of your data is inside this container. So the new container won't have access to the data that's inside this container. And so basically what we're going to have to do is that we're going to have to get the data from this container and add it to the new container. Now if you accepted all the default settings and didn't set a path to store all your data, then your data is stored inside Docker volume, which you can't like easily go to the file manager and get it. Now luckily there's a command that you can run to get the data, and so I'm going to show you how to do it. So first you want to go to the container that has all your data, so all your workflow, your credential and everything, like the container that you've been using to do your work. You want to go to that container and then run it. Then you want to click on the container, and if you go to files, you see that all your files is right here. Now what you want to do is that you want to take this file and copy it over to your file manager. Now to do that, we're going to run this command right here that says docker cp. Now the first part of the command is the name of the container. So in my case, the name of my container is this right here. So we take this, copy it, and paste it right here. Now the next part of the command is this right here. So this right here is basically the path that you want to copy the data to, because you're copying the data from Docker and we're storing it in a folder in our file manager. So the next thing you want to do is that you want to go to your file manager and create a folder that you're going to use to store all the data from Docker. So go to file manager, and you can store, you can create the folder anywhere you want. It doesn't really matter, but make sure you remember where you store the folder. And right here, this is where I created my folder in the documents. But again, you can create your folder anywhere, and you can give it any name you want. But in my case, I call it n8n data. But one thing you need to do is that make sure you don't put a space. If you're going to add a space, you need to add a underscore. If you put a space, then you're going to run into an issue where the command is not going to work, so you can't use a space. So you can either use one word, or if you need a space, you use a underscore. Now as you can see, I also have a folder right here, which if you just created this folder, then it should be empty. But in my case, I already did this step already, so I already have my folder right here, but for you, it's going to be empty. Now the next thing you want to do is that you want to copy this path right here, copy it, and then you paste it right here. And then you basically take this entire command and you go to the terminal and just paste the command and run it. Now I'm not going to run the command again because again, I've already done this before and I already have my data, but in your case, you're going to paste it, then click enter to run the command, and then it's going to copy everything into this folder. And if it works, you should see this right here. So if you have this, then everything works and you know have your data. Next, you want to go back to Docker, and at this point, you can stop the container. Go to the image. Now in your case, you want to click on the image to update it. Now as you can see, I have two images here. Now this right here is the old image, because what happens is that when you update the image, then it's going to create a new one. So this is the new updated image that was created, and this was the old one that was there before. Now in your case, if you have never updated this before, you're going to have one image. So you just want to go over here to the options, click on pull, and then that will download the update. And you should see a bar up here that says that the image is updating. Again, I'm not going to do this again because I've already done it and mine is updated. But in your case, you're going to click on pull and a bar is going to pop up saying that it's downloading the update. Now, once it is done, then you want to click on run. And you're going to see options. And you want to enter your port, which is 5678. Now, this right here, you have to set this path. Now, if you did this the first time and you didn't set that path, then your data is stored in the Docker volumes, which is why you had to run the command to get the data. Now, since we have the data, we want to give this new container access to that data. So first, what we want to do is that we want to get the path that our data is stored in. Now in our case, the data is right here in documents n8n.n8n. So I'm going to copy this path and paste it right here. Or you can just click on the dot right here and just navigate to the folder and select the folder. Then you want to add the container path. Now the container path is this right here, this. Let's do this again. Okay, so the container path is this right here. So this exact line right here, you want to enter this as the container path. Don't change it or anything, just this exact path right here. And so you add this along with the folder with your data, and then you port and you select run. And then that will create a new image with the updated n8n image. However, it will have the data from your old container. Now, I'm not going to click run again because I've already done it before, but in your case, you click run and it's going to create a new container, which for me, it's this one right here. And this new container is going to have all of your data and everything.